Hi friends, this is Reverend Myra. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's Pastor's Update. This week, many of us have celebrated Martin Luther King legacy and his call for us to become a beloved community. And so while I was actually preparing to record the invocation for the Martin Luther King Commission celebration, I was contacted by Officer Moses Robinson of Rochester Police Department, who was reaching out to pastors and leaders in anticipation of a possible additional protest once the grand jury announcement about the Daniel Prude investigation is given, which he expects to happen sometime this week. And I thought he was clearly thinking that it's possible that the verdict and the indictment may not have a positive effect on the Prude family or the Black community. And I thought, if that's true, this is going to be a pretty rough week as we think about the widespread promise of armed protest because of the inauguration of Joe Biden that we're expecting to happen around the country. And then now this locally in anticipation of a protest in response to a Daniel Prude verdict that may send the message to the Black and Brown community that their lives don't matter. And so I think it's going to be a challenging week, and I think these are challenging times, but I remain hopeful. You know, I did have a meaningful conversation with Officer Moses Robinson. We got a chance to look together and discuss the new policing blueprint that I worked on with the Black Pastors Roundtable, and he was very encouraging and thought that those changes did need to happen, and so he's willing to be an ally and moving forward, at least to try to get the system to listen to and think about and reflect on reimagining policing, the policing blueprint, so that the reforms that many of the groups are working on in our city can be put on top of a new policing blueprint, so that we can have more the potential for success in creating a new model. So that was hopeful. I also think that we're in the time of a second Great Awakening and a second Reconstruction, as we're being called to address systemic racism. So, you know, it may get worse before it gets better, but I think better is coming. And so let's continue to do our work together and know that God is using us to transform our world and to reclaim our relationship as brothers and sisters in Christ and children of God together. So hang in there and keep doing the amazing work that you're doing. Also, I want to let you know that on Wednesday this week, on the 20th, we will not be having our Wednesday 12:10 Mass. We tried to get a hold of Joe Biden to ask him to move the inauguration, but he didn't call us back. And so we've decided to cancel Wednesday's Mass so that we can all be available and present to watch and participate and watch the inauguration. So we'll see you back here again next Wednesday at 12:10 for our weekly Mass. This Sunday is our family Mass at our 9:30 Mass, and Servan Potter, our religious ed director, will be our homilist. So I'm looking forward to hearing all that's happening in religious ed and all the ways that our families and our children have stayed connected during this pandemic. So I hope you join us for that. Our next Young Adult Mass is Thursday, January 28th at 7 o'clock. Our digital production engineer, Aaron Lynch, will be our homilist. And so I'm very excited to hear his message for us. So I hope you tune in at 7 o'clock on January 28th. And you also get to hear our fantastic young adult band, whose music is just absolutely fabulous. Next month, in the month of February, SPARC, our Anti-Racism Coalition, is planning to have a series of Zoom fundraisers as they continue to raise money for our outdoor civil rights heritage site. And so in our bulletin next week, we'll give more details, but they have picked some dates that you can set aside, and that'll be February 13th, February 20th, and February 27th. February 13th, the 20th, and the 27th at 7 o'clock. So you'll get more details, so I hope you'll join us as they offer some wonderful opportunities to support that work. Ash Wednesday is coming early this year, February 17th at 12 noon and 7 o'clock. So you can put that on your calendar. That will be the day that we will begin our journey together during this Lenten season. And so I'm looking forward to it. We get to spend a 40-day retreat with Jesus. We send a happy birthday to Siobhan Potter, who celebrated her birthday this past Sunday. And so we send our hearts to you, Siobhan. I hope it was a great celebration. We also offer our deepest condolences and our sympathy to Teresa Teshuan on the death of her mother, Myra Santos Teshuan. Teresa, we send our hearts to you. We send our prayers to you. Can't imagine how difficult it is to have your mom so far away in the Philippines. But please know that we are with you. We also send our deepest sympathy to Frank and Carrie Luby on the death of Frank's father, who passed away in December, and his sister, Mary Louise Souter, who died this week. Frank, we want you to know that we are also thinking of you, and we're praying for you, and we're sending our hearts to you. I can't imagine the level of grief of losing two family members that you loved so much. Well, friends, that concludes our pastor's update. Keep on flattening the curve where you are. Stay safe. Make some really smart choices so that we can gather again together soon in person. I really, really miss you, and I'm thinking of you. Take care.